Aloha, I'm Reverend Cindy Paulus, and today we're going to talk about how we meet each day and meet with light as we greet the day. It's very easy to feel wonderful sometimes as you go into meditation or listen to music or a guided meditation. The challenge comes as we try to see that same energy and work with that same energy in all facets of our life. When the challenges come, when it gets a little more difficult because we get immersed in things that don't seem like they are aligning the way we would like them to align. And the trick is that that's the time when we get to have the gifts, the greatest gifts that come in the lessons of learning. And that's what makes it so interesting to me. I've been on this path for about 55 years. And I found over the years that it doesn't get any easier. You'd think, right, okay, I got this down. What you do learn in time is what to do, the basic tools of what you know you should do. But then it's remembering to use those tools when you are involved in a situation where you're not in that same light, in that same space as you were perhaps in meditation. And that's where this work gets so interesting, is how to become a good light worker, how to be a person that can use what we've learned in meditation and put it to work in our life. It has been very evident in this last year, especially how many challenges have been showing up. And it takes an adept to be adept at using what we know well in our life, because it can get tricky. And the more energy you have, sometimes the more you can stir things up. But at the same time, it goes back to what I've been talking about in some of my talks, is because you're carrying more light, sometimes you're going to be a trigger for more to be revealed, which sometimes doesn't come out gracefully. Sometimes it comes out in explosive ways. But it's how we meet each of those challenges that becomes the gift of being a person who understands how to use these wonderful gifts and tools that we get in meditation. And light happens to be one of the most wonderful, powerful gifts you get. I've been living on Maui for 31 years, and one thing you learn here is patience, because things move a little slower and you can't always get things you want right away. Last thing you want to hear when you live on Maui is someone saying, "Oh, we're going to have to order parts." That could mean a month or 2 or 3 or 4 months, because sometimes we just don't have the parts here and they have to be ordered, and it could take a long time. The other day I went and took a shower and went to turn the shower off, and the water didn't turn off. And I try everything and standing there, nope, it's not going off. It's like the knob's broken, the water's running. It's like, oh, no, now what, And then, 5 hours later, like at 9:30 at night, the plumber comes and says, "Oh, it's broken." It's like, I know it's broken. That's why I called you. Well, we're going to have to order parts. And it's like, oh, no, you didn't say that word, parts. So, yeah, take a breath and go, all right. It's been what now? It's been a month without that part now at this point. But, that's where you have to be able to laugh and realize, okay, this is a good one. This is like, okay, we can really see this, I find, when Mercury's in retrograde. And at this very moment, Mercury happens to be in retrograde. So this is where your core, going back to that core of maintaining a certain thread of the higher consciousness in your living comes from. And the masters, the true masters and beings such as Buddha and Christ and others, were able to maintain that pure light and love consciousness while in being. And that's why they're called masters. It's not easy. Not a lot of people can do it. I've been very blessed in life to know many great teachers and do many interviews with some of the better known teachers, spiritual teachers. And some of them have been friends, and believe me, they're human. Some of them have passed on, so they're not human anymore. But they certainly had issues as well. And sometimes after they pass, people try to pretend they didn't, but I know they did. Same with musicians, we're all human here, just trying to learn together. And you get right down to it, we're all learning our lessons. We're all trying to get on this path towards being more enlightened and more loving and more kind and more understanding. And having that base in the morning and meeting with life each day with that light of the I am that I am is a real gift. And what also helps? What also helps is to go back at night. Go back at night and review the lessons you've learned. See how you started the day and then see what happened. And then it's like, oh, yeah, that was interesting. Interesting movie there. How it went sideways or spiraled out, or if you need to do forgiveness or, a release of some kind, that's a good time to do it. And then you go, oh, okay. Because lessons learned are very, very valuable things. You don't want the lessons learned to be bridges burned if possible. So that's where this comes in. And I'm going to do here an affirmation to meet with life each day. And also a prayer. How do you meet with life each day? And start your day with that. And then a meditation on how you go inside and deal with this part that you find that is that sometimes a hungry ghost, sometimes a hungry mind, sometimes the part that needs more patience. So I'm going to go into the affirmations now as we remember how we want to meet with life each day.